and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
It takes hard work to make Nebraska the right place to raise a family, build a business, or grow a community. We're counting on working parents to make it happen, and they're counting on childcare professionals to have their backs. Employers and other contributors can earn up to $100,000 tax credit for strengthening childcare in our communities and state. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation, and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Three-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Touchdown. Vershawn Jackson, number 34, gets the touchdown.
Husker Hall of Famer Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bakoven. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Oh well, oh well, oh well. It is Bach in the black shirt live here from 93.7 The Ticket, the fastest 2 hours in radio. It is me and you, Bach, today. We're going to rip and roll. We're going to rock and roll or whatever they say, Bach. It's a beautiful day out here today. Beautiful day out here in Husker land. What'd you think about it, Bach?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to do the show today. Obviously, it's a beautiful day and just time of the year for sports. I mean, the Elite, we're getting tickets punched to the Elite 8 last night.
Yes, sir.
Sweet 16 action. We had MLP opening day. And best of all, we've got some spring football that we can cover as well. So I think we've got a pretty good show lined up and a pretty good week of action on the basketball side on the hardwood as well. And, of course, remember, Nebraska basketball plays on the opposite end of the weekend on Monday in the Crown Tournament. Austin Overman will be out there covering for that out in Vegas for 93.7 The Ticket. So we got an exciting few days ahead. So let's lock it in.
I guess me and you going to have to pick a sport, Bach, where we're going to have to travel with them and be like Austin and Nick. That's when right. They go somewhere. I guess I don't know. I'm thinking about badminton or tennis.
Yeah.
I'll do the easy stuff. Tennis. Let's see. Roll. We got rolling.
Rowan, I don't think we
don't have that here.
No.
All right.
I got to look it up and see which sport gets sent to the best destinations. Maybe.
Yeah. Probably the Girls World Series in softball.
Oh yeah. I'd like to go down there.
Need to start. We probably need to invest in that and start being the our reporters for that. Because Nick does football, but I never see any pictures. He takes his camera with him everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
You ever seen a picture?
Not too many.
No,
I mean, he takes a few pictures.
He's probably got a book full, but we haven't seen it.
Well, Rashawn's even worse at that. Rashawn's supposedly taking camera.
He's a sideline. He's a sideline reporter.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any pictures.
I've never seen any of those pictures.
Yeah, too busy talking. Well, the captain is not in today, so it's going to be Bach in the black shirt here at 93.7 The Ticket. Rick Pitino, man. What more can you say? They almost that was almost a shock. I thought they won it for a minute.
Yeah, it's interesting. Coach Cal for Arkansas.
Yeah, Coach Cal.
Yeah. It was. I mean, they were up, and they were kind of the obviously the 10 seed left in the tournament, and that thing, was a tough fight to get back into that game for Texas Tech, and then to get it into overtime and to win that thing was really the best game on last night. There was a few games that I guess would get to the blowout category. I thought Duke in against Caleb Love in Arizona had an interesting story to it, but there was always about a 10, 12-point deficit. So, that was kind of the game of interest more so than any. But again, it continues to be this tournament of high-end teams, the chalk tournament, if you will, but the teams at the top that have been the best teams all year round are making their way into the Elite Eight.
Best game yesterday for you?
Like I said, I think that one would have to be up there. I mean,
Duke-
just because
Duke-
of when it's there.
Duke, Arizona.
I think personally, I did like Duke, Arizona. Now Texas Tech, Arkansas, the outcome of it, the overtime, there were some exciting moments in there. So don't get me wrong, and it's exciting for anybody to get to the Elite Eight. But there's something special. This is what I do like. Again, you might like upsets and you might like brackets being busted and all that. But I do like to get to a point in March when it's blue blood against blue blood.
No,
Sweet
not
16,
you.
Elite Eight.
Not you with your bracket. Whoever hit the best three is for you, Bob. Florida played a hell of a game. They might be the favorite. I think Florida and Duke are the favorites right now. I think Duke has a slightly advantage right now, but Florida is playing well.
Yeah. Yeah, in Florida, if you didn't see it, Florida beat Maryland 87-71. Maryland had kind of an interesting situation in that their coach has kind of been linked to other jobs, linked specifically to the Villanova job. And so this has all been kind of awkward, but it is kind of tough to see a Big Ten team go down. I like to cheer for the conference, and they're just a fun team in general. Julian Reese feels like he's been there for a long time, but obviously the Big Nan Queen hitting the game winner to get to this point to begin with, the buzzer beater, maybe the biggest March Madness moment of the tournament, and now they're knocked out. And then the other game, Alabama beating BYU 113-88. That was the game that followed my philosophy of the threes, because BYU, I said going into that game, they have the type of team that from beyond the arc could get going and could maybe keep themselves in a game, but they did not shoot particularly well. 6 of 30 from beyond the arc, so that hurt them. But on the opposite side, Alabama was 25 of 51, broke the March Madness NCAA tournament record in any case for both three-pointers made and three-pointers attempted. But why wouldn't you keep checking them up if you're hitting nearly 50% of them?
Yeah. Alabama was on fire. All right, let's talk about the games today. Ole Miss, Michigan State, Bach. Who you think and why?
Well, again, going back to hoping that the Big Ten does well. Michigan State is, I think, the Big Ten's best option to make the deepest run. I would really like to see them play Michigan up next, but Michigan obviously has a bigger hurdle than Michigan State does. Ole Miss, you got to respect them for what they've been able to do to get to this point, beating an Iowa State team that was maybe a little bit banged up, right? That didn't have their full strength coming in here, but also had to take on the challenge of North Carolina, whether they were supposed to be in the tournament or not. They were coming off a good performance. So, I definitely could see Ole Miss having a shot at attempt at spoiling this. But I just think Michigan State, as we kind of go back into it, this tournament has been the tournament of chalk. Michigan State has been one of the better teams all year long, a top 10, top 12 type of team all year long, which was why they finished with just 6 losses in the 2 seed in the tournament. I think they'll get the better of Ole Miss, who was 24-11 this year.
Yeah, I think Tom Izzo will get his guys rallied up. We'll try to outcoach Chris. What's the Barnes?
Chris Beard.
Chris Beard, yeah, try to outcoach him and run the court and show him old school versus new school. Now, I'm not very fond of Ole Miss, but I got Michigan State winning, and I hope they continue to win. And this is probably their last game, probably. So I don't know in my tournament. Kentucky versus Tennessee.
Well,
a 2-0 Kentucky team that's beaten Tennessee 2 times this year.
They did, yeah, they did. They beat Tennessee when they were number 8 earlier at the end of January, 78-73 at Tennessee, and then they beat them at home as well, 75-64 when Tennessee was top 5. So these have been some pretty good games for Kentucky. They've been able to, maybe they just have the better of Tennessee. In one of my brackets, I did pick Tennessee to go all the way. So, I kind of think they're, but I mean, they're going to have to get over this hump. They always say it's hard to beat a team twice. Well, it's sure hard to beat a team 3 times, a top 5 type of team like Tennessee has been this year. But at the same time, so, I mean, you can go that way with it, or you could say, hey, man, they just seem to have the Vols number. Maybe that's a better match.
You're right. They got to squeeze one out. I like Tennessee. I have them picked to win this game, but like I said, they haven't done it this year yet. Okay, Another Big Ten team, Purdue versus Houston. Hard challenge for Purdue. Up-tempo Houston team that can score 100 points.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of scared about that, but I'm going with Houston on this one, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. Purdue didn't feel like, with Braden Smith, and Kaufman Wren, they've been a very good team. Don't feel like they've got the ceiling of when they, of course, had Zach Edey last year and didn't have the season that they had with Zach Edey these last couple of years. But this is a Houston team that was on the ropes against Gonzaga. It looked like it might go the opposite way there. So certainly a window for them to get it done. But Houston's just been one of the better programs for the longest time here. Time to see who can kind of take that next step. Houston, again, probably should be favored here. They are favored, I believe, by
8.5.
8.5. So yeah, that's as close as much as anybody today. So they're going to be favored. But I think the Boilermakers, Braden Smith, could get that special run going for them. But Houston's got some pretty darn good backcourt on the other side as well.
All right, Michigan versus Auburn. Woo. Auburn is one of the favorites. They're favored by 8.5 points. So, being a 27-9 versus a 30-5 is not bad. If Michigan can find a way to out rebound Auburn and really just don't let them run the floor so fast, maybe Michigan has a chance.
Yeah, they certainly have a chance. Auburn is obviously been one of the better teams all year as well. And they've got, obviously in Broom, one of the best players in this tournament. But I mean, Michigan, if there's a team you don't want to play right now, it would be the Wolverines. They obviously made their run to win the Big Ten tournament. Very impressive after, remember, Juwan Howard was there for all those years.
He's not there anymore?
Nope. Dusty May in his first year. So they had like 8 wins or something last year. Dusty May was able to turn it around. Remember, he went to the Final Four with FAU just a few years ago. And I think there's several of his...
say Chris Webber. Juwan Howard's team.
Yeah. But in any case, he's they're one of the hottest teams in the country. Of all the games today, I think that's of the most interest. I could see Michigan getting the upset, and maybe it's partially, I've already said, I really want to see Michigan and Michigan State in the Elite Eight, but this I would be on upset watch here because the Wolverines have it rolling here at the right time.
All right, that's enough for the NCAA tournament. Austin will go down there Sunday and be there for the Huskers game Monday against in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So good luck to the men Huskers basketball team in Las Vegas. Man, Bach, Lakers in 5. You see that shot last night?
The Lakers, Lakers had it. Yeah. Was a big moment there, but Josh Giddey from the Bulls hitting beyond the half-court shot to get the win at the buzzer. You got to love it as anybody who doesn't like the Lakers, which I include myself in.
While we're on the Lakers, LeBron and Stephen A. LeBron said that Stephen A. is on his Taylor Swift tour. And when he says that, he's going around trying to tell his side of the story. Is anybody right in this situation? Because, being a sports writer or what Stephen A. is, it's his job to critique and grade players. Now, we talked about LeBron one time getting his son drafted into the NBA because Bronny had no business coming out of school to me. I mean, he can score 80 points in the G League. It's the G League, Bob. That's what it's the G League for. I mean, but, the thing with him and Stephen A., I think is good for publicity, but, it's now when you talk about, if he would have put his hands on me, I would have did this to you. What do you think about that part, Bob?
Well, he said if he would have put his hands on me, he would have thrown hands. Basically, he said he would have got his butt kicked. He knows he's not going to win that fight. So I at least appreciate that honesty from him. It's interesting because he's not backing down, and I don't back him. I don't expect him to. Once you get kind of to the platform that he has, the net worth that he has, I mean, nobody can tell him nothing. So I understand he's made his whole career with his mouth, so he's going to keep his mouth going there. I don't know if there's somebody in the right or wrong, but I at least appreciate the way that Brian Neuenhorst. So, LeBron kind of went on this, with the Pat McAfee show, and he was kind of airing out his grievances, I suppose, against Stephen A. Smith and the rest of the media, and even took a shot at Brian Windhorst, who has been covering him since his high school days. And I thought Windhorst says, he doesn't. I think he said he doesn't owe me an apology. He doesn't owe me anything. I owe him quite a deal. So and just not taking it personal. I thought Brian Windhorst took the high road there. Stephen A. has not. He's not going to back down, and I don't see that necessarily happen. I think it's added fuel to his fire that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time and LeBron is not. And now he's kind of got that personal beef there. But I appreciate too that at least Stephen A. Smith said as well that he wasn't going to make a big deal of it when this incident occurred, because it was at the start of like a fourth quarter or something. I mean, it was in the middle of a basketball game, so not to make it bigger than himself. We've seen before. I think Shannon Sharp was yelling on the court at players at times before. I didn't think that. I think your celebrity status, you got to at least not have it get in the way of a game. So I can appreciate that, but at the same time, I understand both sides. LeBron's going to want to defend his family. Stephen A is going to want to again be able to say what he feels and needs to say. And I think there's a bit of truth on both sides, because I think you're right. I mean, Bronny might have the talent to play in the NBA. We've seen him, has gotten better in different looks here over time, but it was clear. I mean, without the last name James, without being LeBron's son, that that pick was just not going to happen there. So there's a lot of different things that maybe you have to dance around here. The Lakers, of course, in the same year get Luka. So the way that they've been dealing with their front office, I think overall would be a success, and maybe the attention you're getting for Bronny would be as well. But if you're going to put your son out there and quite frankly just kind of force all this to go down, you got to expect there's going to be some negativity toward him. But LeBron expected that. He just said, you can't tell me basically how to be a father, or how to be the father of my son. And for any father, I can appreciate that, standing up to anybody they feel disrespected by.
Well, this is sports though. Bryce or Bronny, who you think would be better?
We'll see.
Bryce is taller.
Yeah.
Bryce is like 6'8".
Yeah.
He's going to Arizona. And Arizona gives scholarships out there. They don't give them out like that, Bob. Arizona team, you got to earn them scholarships.
Yeah, he's 6'6".
6'6".
Yeah, we'll see what he
but he's 16 years old, 17 years old.
Yeah.
So he can be 6'8", possibly.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we've just done this before with the Jordan sons, right? Where you're hoping to see if they would turn into anything.
Now one of them
never did really happen. They played college
married
ball.
Scottie Pippen White. Yeah.
right.
Is that the best you can do with basketball?
We followed that story for far too long, I think. But so I don't really know. I mean, I at least give Bronny credit. Again, he scored 17 points in an NBA game. Might have been in a blowout performance, and all of that. And the Lakers didn't have a majority of their roster, but that's still. That's something a lot of people can't say, that they claim to be pretty good basketball players.
All right. Short clip here. Nebraska women's softball team. They're 24-8, Bob. 7-0 at home, 4-2 away, 13-6 neutral, 4-1 in the Big Ten. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and they've got several different polls. They're ranked in a few of them at 20th or somewhere around there. Yeah, I mean, it's going well. I think Jordy Ball is living up to the expectations. She's won, Player of the Week awards in the Big Ten a few different times now, and they're doing well. So I think it's just kind of on pace for what the expectations were. You want to take that next step. So they opened up the season with a top 25 win early on the first few games. Haven't been able to close it out against that level of opponents. Since then, and of course, that's kind of the next big step, right? To go from the 20th team to the 10th ranked team, you got to start, knocking down a few of those teams in front of you. So that's kind of the next step. But as far as, expectations and excitement and having a top 25 program, they're right on pace for that.
Yeah, Jordy Ball hit 454. She has how many? 11 home runs, 31 RBIs. She's pitched 13 games and won 13 out of 3. So she's 13-3 with a 1.53 ERA. That's good.
Yeah. We'll
hey, what's the girl that Hopper Murray? Have you seen the pictures they talk about, Buck? Or what is she doing? Is she taking pictures?
I saw. Yeah, she probably is. I saw her take pictures with some sort of Miss Nebraska or something. That was kind of cool, but yeah, she likes to be out there in social media.
Oh, okay.
But you might be talking about something different. I just saw her take
Probably
pictures.
swimsuit edition or something. I don't know that.
I don't know about all that. Yeah,
I haven't seen it. They were saying, I think it's clickbait.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, it could be clickbait, but we'll get ready for volleyball season in a couple of more months here.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a lot of spring ball when we come back. We're going to listen to a lot of stuff, but one of Matt Rule's foes is one of the highest paid football coaches in the league now, in college football. We'll talk about that. And I bet you know who it is, Bob.
I do.
When we come back, everybody don't like him, but I like him. 93.7 The Ticket, the fastest 2 hours of radio. We'll be right back.
Hog Wild's giant stuffed baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house-smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
I'm Chief Dave Engler. When a fire truck hits a pothole with 12 tons of fast-moving equipment and crew, it's a problem. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue Lincoln's quarter-cent sales tax for street improvements. A vote against eliminates the street funding. A vote for will not raise your taxes and keeps the funding in place. And better roads means faster response times. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com.
We use our Lincoln streets every day, and so do first responders. But visitors and out-of-town commuters also do. A quarter-cent sales tax for streets passed by voters in 2019 makes those commuters pay about $6 million a year to improve streets. On your ballot in April is a measure to continue it. A vote against means no more funds from commuters. A vote for will not raise your taxes, and commuters still pay. Learn more at LincolnOnTheMove.com. Paid for by the City of Lincoln.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We're going to see plenty of sunshine for your Friday. It's going to be breezy, too. Wind gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour. High risk of fire danger, so a red flag warning will be in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. High temperature of 86 degrees. The record today, 90. So I don't think we're going to set a record this afternoon. Could bring in some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder overnight. Better chance of rain on your Saturday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Downer for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Da-da. Welcome back to Bach in the Black Shirt here at 93.7 The Ticket, the fastest 2 hours in radio. We are taking the captain place today who is not here. And look, Bach, what they say about Deion Sanders, man, they say he can't coach. They say he can't do this. Well, guess what, Bach? Primetime just landed a deal for $54 million extension for over, 5 years? This is coming from a guy's salary increase will be $10 million in 2025, making him the highest paid coach in the Big 12 and among the top 10 highest paid coaches in college football. All right, Sanders will earn another $10 million in 26, $11 million in 27, $11 million in 28, and $12 million in 29. If Sanders accepts another coaching job before the end of his contract, his buyout will start at $12 million if he's let go before the 31st of December 25, followed by 10 and 26, 6 and 27, 4 and 28, and guess what, Bob? 3 and 29. Deion's earned his pay. He earned his pay. I don't care what anybody has to say. This guy came in. He totally annihilated a roster, rebuilt it, brought in what he thought like his Louis bags.
Yeah.
And his Ferraris and his Mustangs. And after going 4-7 his first year,
4-8, yep.
4-8 the first year.
But beat Nebraska,
beat Nebraska. Second year, 9-3. Lost to Nebraska. Almost went to the Big 12 championship. Heisman winner. Two top 5 picks, it looked like.
Yeah.
What more can you ask for from Deion? What more? What more can a fan not say besides how he act that they don't like prime time?
Yeah, and again, it's not just, obviously the big question is, can he win without Travis Hunter and Shedeur? And that remains to be seen. Colorado clearly believes that he can do so. He's been recruiting well, but it's not just, I think sometimes we get that lost with that feeling. We kind of get lost about the rest of what happened, which is, like you said, he gutted a team completely, kind of made a new team, was doing some kind of doing all sorts of unorthodox stuff. He hasn't still not been on a home visit. I doubt, even though that they signed him now to 2030, I still don't think he'll make a home visit by 2030. That's not the way he does things. So he is kind of at times, and I think this was part of the I guess the group that was against him, at times kind of spit in the face of the traditions of what we thought a college football coach not only should be, but had to be successful. And for him to turn that around and turn that narrative around in just 2 years, and the success that they had in Boulder. Now, you can tell me the Big 12 isn't all that good, or this or that, the other, whatever you want to say, to turn around a program that had 1 win before he got there to 2 years later having 9 wins, having a Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, that's some incredible stuff. So, like you said, definitely earn the money. Now, if you're kind of comparing it, that ties him now for 8th, next to Bill Belichick of all people, for that sort of money. So when you put the resumes next to each other, Bill Belichick's probably still weighs a little bit, outweighs it a little bit. But again, it's not just football that is, in football results to look at with Deion Sanders here. It's the amount of attention from both inside and outside the sports community, inside and outside the college football community, that he has brought back to Boulder, who, remember when they got there, they're like, well, we're going to have enough money to pay Deion. Well, now clearly they have enough money to pay Deion and try to secure him with this big bag here. So definitely, like you said, deserved the whole kind of, is Deion a good coach or not a good coach, or is this not working, or all that stuff you can kind of put to the side. Maybe it's a flash in the pan. Maybe it was because of the 2 guys that he was able to bring along with him. We'll see there. But this has been a smashing success, and here
for Colorado,
and
for college football,
everybody
now
involved.
he has Oklahoma State wants to play Oklahoma in a spring game.
Yeah,
I mean, Deion was the first one to think of. Now, if you don't like the guy, just say, hey, he's not my cup of tea, but don't hate him because you just hate him. And we know how Nebraska fans feel about Deion, because he's not our cup of tea. Just plain and simple. He's not Nebraska cup of tea. He's not what they're looking for in a coach. But, somebody else looking for that in a coach. They like Matt Rule, the way he runs the program, the way he operates. So Deion operates on a different level. He brought a whole bunch of NFL guys in there with him. Marshall Faulk, Warren Sapp, now Byron Leftwich. He had Pat Shermer, who was a head coach in the NFL, running the team, running the offense at one time. So, if he's not your cup of tea, just say, okay, I don't like Colorado. Never say you don't like primetime, because primetime is doing its job.
Well, and I think that's a big part of it too. Nationally, there might be different factors at play as to why you might not like the way that Deion Sanders does things. Again, it's completely different than what we thought that college football coaches look like, or how they operated in that fashion for the longest time. So for him to be able to do this and to use the transfer portal era to build a competitive team in the Big 12 has been eye-opening to what is possible out there in the modern era. And so, has been somewhat of an innovator at that position. There will be people that just don't like his arrogance. You might not like, even at halftime of that TCU game the first time around, I think he said that Travis Hunter was going to win the Heisman. He was a year ahead, but he was right at that point in time. So, you might not like, some of the way he carries himself as a program. Now, I'll say this for Nebraska fans, because I think sometimes it can always kind of get lumped in together. Certainly, there's going to be some portions of the Nebraska fan base that don't like him for those reasons. But I think a big part of it was not necessarily not liking Deion, but embracing the Colorado rivalry, which was being renewed perfectly, in faction with Matt Rule, who was always going to be compared to Deion because they were hired in the same class. And then all of a sudden, you've got 2 in the same cycle, I should say. And then all of a sudden, you've got a back-to-back, home and home, year, in year 1 and year 2. So naturally, that kind of heated up the rivalry portion of it. Then you had, of course, the storming of the field, the Nebraska, getting to the center of the logo and all that sort of stuff. And then this year in Lincoln was just one of the best environments we've had. So, I don't think all Nebraska fans dislike Deion Sanders more so than they dislike Colorado. And so that might have been, one and the same. But there's certainly Deion haters as well outside of that. But I think now that Nebraska doesn't have Colorado or Deion on the schedule for next year, that's not the game you're building up to. I mean, hopefully everybody can kind of just take a breath and say, you know what, it is pretty impressive what he's done out there. Might still like the Buffaloes, but you got to respect Deion.
Now, here's Colorado University cited Sanders' impact on the school and community, noting that applications have increased 20% from a year ago to over 67,000, including 18% increase in applications from out of staters, out of state. According to the school, applications from prospect students who identify as Black Afro-American increased 50.5%. And applicants from prospect students who identify non-white increased 29.3%. Colorado also has sold out all but two home games the last fall game, making the first time in Buffalo have sold out for 4 more games in back-to-back seasons since 1995 and 96. Now, this season, home football games generated $93.9 million in direct economics impact of the city of Boulder and $146 million in total regional economics impact. Now, he has an impact on that. You can't take that away. You can't take away that he has rappers, all these guys, comedians, everything coming to the school. And he's now before you go and say or text me on the text line and say, oh, it's the Big 12. Don't forget, Nebraska was in the Big 12 too. So let's not go by what conference you're in. Let's just go by the bill of work that Coach Prime has done. I wish Matt Rule the same success that Coach Primes has at the University of Nebraska, though, also.
Well, which is interesting, too, because when you look at Matt Rule's contract, of course, every year, I always bring it back to the NFL quarterbacks, where the newest NFL quarterback is the highest paid, not necessarily the best one. But these contracts continue to get bigger and so on and so forth. So Deion now 5-year, $54 million. Remember, Matt Rule signed his 8-year, $74 million. I think they'll both be around $12 million by the year 2030. So they'll be pretty even there. And again, even though they're not going to play each other, they're in the same hiring class. They play hiring cycle, and then they played each other and split the series. So there's always going to be a comparison there, and there always maybe should be as with your hiring class to see who gets the better of it.
Old Dad 34 says, ask the old players of Coach Osborne. Colorado wasn't a rivalry. To me, they was a rivalry because Oklahoma wasn't good at the time. They was falling off. Colorado was stepping up. They won the national title in the 90s. So they had Nebraska number for a little while. We came back and beat them, 94? We beat them 95, 96. And then they came back and they whooped Nebraska. I forgot what year was that. 2000,
2001 will be the Nebraska. I'll always say that 62-36 victory that Colorado had over number 1 Nebraska at the time. Nebraska has not since returned to number 1. They've never got off the mat from that. They've never returned to the program they were before that day, and it's been 24 years. So
I think that was the biggest, hypest game in '95 I played in. Besides the 95 championship, 96 championship game, Colorado was the most hypest game that we had that I played in '96, just '95, just by seeing the Buffalo. And then Ray Caruth, their whole team they had was okay. Yeah, they wasn't a bad team. I mean, they probably finished like 5th. They was number 5 when we played them. Yeah. So we was number 2. They was number 5. I think they finished in the top 10. So you can't. Bill and Bennett says I hate him because he is Colorado coach. Yeah, I mean, now I don't. I hate Colorado, and I hate the simple fact that Deion's at Colorado, but I still can't hate him. But I hate Colorado.
Yeah, and I find that fair, and I agree with you too. Like, no one's going to replace Oklahoma as Nebraska's rivalry, and it's kind of the similar discussion that we've had about Iowa. Is you can't replace those stakes. So, but Nebraska and Colorado had some big time stakes, like you said, late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s. That's generally a top 5 game against one another, and so there were some big time stakes there, but it didn't replace decades and decades of big time stakes of Nebraska and Oklahoma. So the whole Nebraska-Colorado is not a rivalry. Nebraska and Colorado is not Nebraska-Oklahoma, but it's still developed into quite a rivalry to the point that even Nebraska-Iowa, I think, is still trying to get to a Nebraska-Colorado point because of what I just said. Nebraska-Colorado played many, many very important top 5 matchups, and then Colorado knocked Nebraska off its throne. Iowa-Nebraska, you've had some battles over the Big Ten West or bowl eligibility, but you just can't replace those stakes. So I would say Colorado is without a doubt a rivalry. And if you don't believe so, it should have went to Boulder a couple of years ago. You should have went to Lincoln. Been here in Lincoln for that
I went
game.
to Boulder.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It was sad. That was the Jeff Sales theory.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So like I said, Eric said, "Who fired Rashawn?" We didn't fire him. He's off
fired.
today.
He's fired.
Yeah, it's blocking the black shirt today. Come back Monday for the captain. From 1 to 3, the fastest 2 hours of radio. Cubster said LeBron cost the game. He didn't get to the corner for Williams 3. Then LeBron inbounded the ball to Getty on the steal that got kicked out, and then he played poor defense on Getty's game winner. Yeah, that was it. It was all on LeBron. But guess what? If we had to play him in the series, Lakers in 5. All right.
You're probably not wrong against the Bulls.
93.7 The Ticket, the fastest 2 hours in radio. It is Bach and the Black Shirt filling in for the Captain Show today. We'll be right back.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off your enrollment. The next 10-week challenge begins on April 12th. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, four-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bach and the Black Shirt here at 93.7 The Ticket. Bach, Georgia's Nitro Tuggle was driving 107 miles before he got arrested. I guess that's why they call him Nitro, huh?
Sounds about right.
And the captain sits here and tell us that, you just don't know you can just hit the gas a little and be at 107. No, you can't. You really have to hit the gas to go 100. I don't care if it's in a skirt, whatever they call it, SRT, or Scat Pack. I can get the little Range Rover or the maximum I drive to 100, but I'm pushing it.
Yeah.
You know when you're going over 90, Bob. I mean, because the speed limit is only 85 and 80 in Georgia, 70 on the highway. I think it's 75 on the highway. But, and we talk about this all the time with these kids driving like that. I mean, 107 is, Kirby had to start taking games away from these kids to make them realize that what impact they have. Tuggle, a sophomore from Goshen, Indiana, was clocked driving 42 miles over the speed limit on the Georgia State Route 10 loop outside of Athens. He was driving a 2021 Dodge Charger. His girlfriend was in the car, according to the report.
Yeah, it's the latest of another deal down there in Athens. It's crazy how many of these stories still come out and nothing seems to be nothing seems to be done. Nothing seems to be working to curtail it. Again, you would think generally you'd say, yeah, well, I mean, this is dangerous stuff, and eventually it's going to cause the loss of life. It already has, down there with their student manager from a few years ago, a player on the team. So it's just, I don't know. I mean, at some point, again, we always could throw kind of the word, the culture world around there, and whatever the culture issue is there, it feels like Need for Speed in Athens, Georgia, and it's just at a time it was surprising it's like gone past the point of like, hey, I'm surprised to see this again because it's such a problem, to now I expect to see another one here in the
Kirby
next
Smart
couple
says
weeks.
it's disappointing. But
Yeah.
listen to this. Marquise Easley was offensive lineman from where he's from, Peoria, in Illinois. These are kids in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I mean, one guy's from Indiana, another guy's from Illinois. He was arrested in Ocean County, Georgia on March 17th after driving his Dodge Charger into a power distribution box in an apartment complex, causing damage to other cars.
Yeah. Not good news.
Yeah. I mean, both cars are what?
Total.
Yeah. If I was a head coach, I mean, I know you can't make these young men do this, but hey, everybody gets a Honda Accord. I'll go lease them myself.
Yeah,
just to cut down on the speeding.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a Honda Accord. Yeah, that's it.
Good idea.
Or a Toyota Tercel. Whichever one you want, you get a pick from a Honda.
A car that's nice on gas mileage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save your gas, family car, good good for what they say,
economical,
the gas, the fumes in the air and stuff. It makes it all good for you. So if I was one of those coaches, I would not let my players drive scat packs and all this.
Yeah, but I think you're right. At some point, like, we're all waiting to see, like, how do you curtail it? How does it happen? Maybe it is game time. Maybe eventually you just say, okay, guys, if this is what our program is partially known for, more so than winning, because we haven't won in a couple of years, is getting in trouble here. We got to change that perception. If it happens again, 3 games, 4 games, like major.
No, I wouldn't say
deal.
3, 4, a quarter. I mean, a half.
That's like
sit them out the first half.
We'll see. I mean, it'd be better than nothing.
Yeah, sit them out the first half. I mean, speeding is really not a crime like that. I mean, it's not like they're out here, fighting and doing all that. I mean, this is basically the only thing we talked about in Georgia is speeding.
Well, it's more dangerous. I mean, fighting,
I know it's dangerous.
Saying,
because it's dangerous because they had 2 people who was killed
right
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But these kids know better though. I mean, 3-4 games, that's too much, Bob.
Well, I mean, I get your point, and then I do. I mean, if it was a star player, then you might have to think about it again. But at some point, this is a program problem. They've got to address it, and they've got to come down harsh on it. And so I mean, I get your point. Maybe you start with 1 or 2 games, but you need to stop having these headlines come out.
Now, if you have 3 of them, I say get off the team.
Yeah,
it's like 3 strikes and you're out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? 3 strikes. Hey, I'm done with you. Bill said, I blame video games like Grand Theft Auto for that crap. Well, Grand Theft Auto is coming out in 26, so it'll be a new one coming out, and everybody's waiting on that one.
Yeah.
Then Bill says the win today could really affect tonight's baseball game. Baseball game against number 5 Oregon State would be huge. A win against Oregon State would be huge.
Yeah. Nebraska baseball does have top 5 Oregon State, number 5 Oregon State in town for a 3-game series. Of course, Nebraska baseball has had a rough start to the season. This certainly, a couple wins this weekend could certainly kind of turn things around.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Old Dad 34 says, I know you like Georgia black shirt, but Kirby needs to take NIL away in order to stop the speeding. I will take it for a month if that's what they want to do. Hey, you get 2 months of no NIL. And a kid would probably go crazy. That's probably 30, 40, 50,000. One with these kids get paid. 9495 says horsepower is how fast you hit the wall. Torque is how far you move the wall.
That's one way of looking at it. I guess if it's against the wall.
Well, I just don't like. I did the speeding stuff when I was younger. I'm not gonna lie. I rode in the SLK down the highway on Georgia 400. We was going about 140. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not nice. I wasn't driving. I was in the passenger seat and I was scared.
Yeah, I would say every young person has done a dumb thing once or twice. I can
I
attest
done
to
plenty.
that too. Yeah.
I could write a book on dumb things.
Yeah.
Dumb things by the Black Shirt. All right, 93.7 The Ticket, the fastest 2 hours in radio. Hour number 1 is up when Bach and the Black Shirt come back here.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R. You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We're going to see plenty of sunshine for your Friday. It's going to be breezy too. Wind gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour. High risk of fire danger, so a red flag warning will be in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. High temperature of 86 degrees. The record today, 90. So I don't think we're going to set a record this afternoon. Could bring in some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder overnight. Better chance of rain on your Saturday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Downer for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off your enrollment. The next 10-week challenge begins on April 12th. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Whether it's neck pain, shoulder pain, or lower back pain, Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic's team specializes in treatments such as dry needling, cupping therapy, and traditional adjustments. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today, 402-484-5600, 5166. Visit them online at LincolnFamilyChiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and 8th Street in Lincoln.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com. Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is 93.7 The Ticket.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
3-time national champion Vershawn Jackson.
Touchdown. Vershawn Jackson, number 34, gets the touchdown.
Husker Hall of Famer Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bakoven. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
All right, welcome back to Bach in the Black Shirt here on 93.7 The Ticket, the fastest 2 hours in radio. It is a beautiful Friday out here, and it doesn't make any sense unless it's good sense, because we got good sense sandwiches in the house here today, and whoever's not here, guess what? Your sandwich is not going to be with you today. So, Bach, what you got today to talk about so far?
Well, I think there's kind of some interesting news in the NBA in that the Grizzlies fired coach Taylor Jenkins after 6th season. He's the all-time winningest coach with the Grizzlies. Now, normally, a firing at the end of an NBA season might seem not all that surprising. You must, if you're not an NBA fan, think, well, the Grizzlies are probably struggling. That's not a very good franchise. Well, they're not, actually. They're the 5th team. They're tied for 4th, actually, with the Lakers after the Lakers lost last night on that half-court shot to the Bulls. The Grizzlies are in position not only to make the playoffs here with 9 games left to go in the regular season, but to avoid the play-in games. So, I mean, it's just a very odd move at this point. So a lot of people are kind of trying to connect the dots, trying to figure out, is there more to this Taylor Jenkins firing outside of this? They're going in-house as far as who will take over. Thomas Iasolo, I think is how you pronounce it, will be the coach now from on the staff, the interim head coach, if you will. But it's very odd movement here. He's the all-time winningest coach in franchise history. This is the 3rd time a coach has left a team mid-season, if you would call it mid-season. Again, there's only a few games left in the season after winning at least 40 games during that campaign. He joins now Larry Brown in the Nets back in 1983 and Don Nelson from the Mavs in 2005. Now, they have lost 4 of their last 5 games. I think Desmond Bain pushed their center on the bench the other day. He was dancing on the bench when they were down. So, I mean, I don't think any of that necessarily has to play in this. Of course, all of this with kind of, Ja Morant and kind of what's been going on with him in the last couple of years. Just makes you wonder if there's more to this story, because on the basketball side, it doesn't seem like this would be even if you said, okay, we've given him 6 years, might be the all-time winningest coach here, but we give him 6 years. We don't seem to be getting over the hump if that's what they're looking for. A few games before the playoffs seems like an odd time to make that move.
Well, the good thing about John Morant, he's been quiet. So this year.
Yeah.
And maybe he's learned his lesson, but somebody has to take the sacrifice for this team, and it's got to be the coach. I mean, maybe it's time to start over. I mean, the Grizzlies are not in position. I don't even think they're in position to make the playoffs this year, are they?
No, like I was saying, they actually are doing pretty well. They're in the fifth, tied for fourth in the West.
Oh, that's kind of crazy.
So
Something's up.
Yeah, that's the weird part about it is they're having a successful season. So that's why the firing spot doesn't make too much sense. They're currently in the fifth spot, I shall say, in over there in the West.
Yeah, that's crazy. So something to come out. Kent State coach is under fire. I don't know what he did, but he's got placed on administration leave. He's only 1-26 in 4 years there, Buck. So 3 or 4 years. But like I said, they're not saying what's going on. It was something about a home deal. I mean, a loan, $23 million loan, but that got dismissed early in the season. Now he's on administrative leave right before camp starts. So we don't know what's going on. We know Michigan has another slew of problems with their coaching staff and what they've been doing. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on, but we're going to stay out of it because we're only worried about Husker football.
That's right. And let's jump into some Husker football. Of course, there was the press conference yesterday. Dana Holgorsen, Dylan Raiola both hit up to the podium, so we got plenty of that. Let's start with Dylan. Of course, I know we spent a lot of time in the station going around what Dana Holgorsen has said. Here's Dylan Raiola on why this spring is so important to him.
Yeah, this spring is important. I think we can get a quicker jump on things. Dana's kind of put his stamp on, and we've had our time to meet and kind of get things installed. From player standpoint, so we're kind of ahead of the curve of install and knowing where to be, what to do. So I think we can get more advanced in our plays, but also I think it's just boring and simple. Execute, go out there, execute, don't make the simple mistake, and practice. Our thing's been 2 minute into the game. It's 5 or 6 games last season came down to that. So for us, it's been an emphasis. We're not going to lose any more of those. So we put a lot of time, a lot of thought into that.
That's good talk. Glad to hear him sound kind of focused on the thing he needs to do in camp is, I mean, especially with spring ball for Dylan Raiola is work on the things that hurt you at the last year. Work on those things. You're working on hurt. He's bulking up. He's getting in shape. That's one thing that he needs to continue to do so he can be that type of player. Work on them throws that whatever mechanics you had when you threw the interceptions, work on them. Can't work on your slide yet, but just work on the little things that will make you better. We know there's no overnight solution for mistakes, but you can just try better each day and to learn how to be better at your position.
Well, and they did talk too, and part of the talk yesterday, and what we heard at the end of that clip is working on that 2-minute drill. Several of Nebraska's games kind of came down to that last season. It's been a long time since Nebraska has had an effective 2-minute drill, or even one that you'd have too many hopes in reaching the end zone or getting to the field goal at that point. As we know, being close in so many different games over the last several years, that's been part of the problem. And you feel like they should have the skill players in position to make this 2-minute drill work. Of course, the other part of that is the offensive line. We'll see if they're able to hold up and give Dylan enough time in a 2-minute drill. But that's huge. Is it kind of surprising to you that they're working on that just at the start of the spring, or because of how a lot of their games ended with that not being quite as effective as they might have wanted it to win some games? Are you surprised that that's an emphasis so early in the spring?
Well, I find it kind of strange that that you're working on 2-minute offense. These are two things that can go with this talk. Maybe you're so far ahead of the curve that you're able to work on the 2-minute offense, or it's just his game plan, or maybe you're just a 2-minute offense. So that's probably one of the two things that we have to worry about, because this might be a fast-paced offense. So that's two of the things I see what's going on with running a 2-minute offense in spring ball.
Yeah, it's interesting because Dana Holgerson also said, his days of just kind of the air raid are behind him and have been for a while. And so they've kind of been talking about keeping the playbook, again, more simplifying it as where it was before, tweaking it a little bit too, Holgerson's wants and needs, but it doesn't sound like it's an overhaul. So the idea of like this massive install new offense type of situation, then you probably wouldn't be working on the 2-minute drill. But
you have no fullback though, Bach. So
Yeah.
that's one indication of what you're gonna run. Dylan Riola, 25 passes a game, over or under.
Well, I think he averaged about 30 last year.
Yeah, so you're gonna say over anyway. So because what we're doing, but like I said, it shows with no fullback. I mean, I know football is a much faster sport, and they take out the fullback a lot, but at the same time, with no fullback, period, you're almost a pass first offense.
Well, we'll see. I'm still interested. I think I was asked, what I think that balance would be. And, generally run heavy teams are closer to 65% run, especially 65. You're talking about run heavy. I mean, I think a balanced team usually is even 60% run, ideally, if you're running the clock out at some point and catching up on some of those run plays. Also keep in mind, scrambles, count for run plays as well. So it's interesting. I don't think it would be 50-50. I don't even know, 55-45s might be kind of closer to what we're looking at. But with the way they're talking about it, still might be 60-40 run. But you're not buying that.
No, I'm not buying that. Derek in the car says perhaps they run 2-minute old because Dana wants to move quickly on offense instead of a lumbering NFL type offense. True, but at the same time, if you're gonna be that 2-minute offense on the field every time, you better have a great defense. So and like I said, it's no knock on Nebraska, but this is a work in progress right here with the defense, because it's a lot of no-name guys that we have to find out, are they able to play, or are they able to play in the Big Ten? So, and are they able to play at the University of Nebraska? Because you can sign anybody you want, but every time it's either 5-6 guys out of class who don't play.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to figure out like what's the defense going to look like in this situation if you're going to have that fast-paced offense.
Yeah, and too, I mean, Matt Rules has said, Dana Holgerson has pushed for maybe going forward at times, maybe where he wouldn't normally do it. So it kind of gets him out of his comfort zone. That'll be interesting to see kind of their risks that they're willing to take with this offense, if it can, I guess, get to a point where it is competitive with the defense as far as being the best unit out on the field. I mean, the defense has clearly been the better unit each of the last 2 seasons. And so you don't want to put them in a bad position. But if the offense can make an argument that they are the strength of the team, then you would probably see them to start to take more of those risks and to see if it can, because they'd be confident in making their fourth down conversions. Right now, with last year's offense, obviously it was a mile ahead of 2 years ago, but it still wasn't anything to write home about. And so, I when they were going forward, you'd get kind of nervous. And, the crowd always wants you to go forward, and a lot of the fans want you to be aggressive, but it doesn't always make it the right or the best decision. So we'll see how aggressive this offense is. Like you said, no fullback, working on 2-minute. It could look considerably different this year, and hopefully looks considerably different this year than what it did last year. You talked about Dylan Raiola and trying to get into physical shape. Here is Raiola talking about the importance of his physical shape and getting to where he has this offseason.
If I'm being honest, it sucks. I'm just being honest. Like, it's a constant grind every day. Sometimes you don't see change right away. In this instant, physical body standpoint doesn't change in a day, doesn't change in a week, doesn't change in 2 weeks, not even 3. So it's just the consistency of staying on it and keep going. And I'm just grateful for our strength staff, our nutrition staff, even my dad. My dad's been involved heavily as well. So it's been a team effort. I'm grateful. I feel amazing right now. Probably the best shape I've ever been in. Yeah, no, I feel great. You know, I went on spring break, came back probably about 9 or 10 pounds lighter. So, you know, that was an emphasis. I mean, kind of getting away from the program and you know, just always the soreness and, you know, just all the lifting we do here, which is great. But kind of just to, you know, take that step, you know, like I said, it doesn't happen in 4 weeks. You know, that was probably week 6 or 7. And it kind of all of a sudden snapped. And here we are. It's perfect time, you know, ready to spring ball.
Yeah. I mean, keeping in shape in college football, it's easier said than done. You know, I mean, you have summer workouts, you have spring workouts, you have, I mean, you can eat what you want, but sometimes you have to watch how much you eat. And not really that. I mean, you still have to take your supplements, proteins, vitamins, creatine. Maybe they need to start taking that. You know, but if he stays at the weight he wants to, and if he feel like he's able to move with whatever he weighs, then that's on him. You know, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, and too, I think with all that, you got to work on just you know, taking those hits a little bit more gracefully. I mean, you kind of always go back to Taylor Martinez, who's now a Husker Hall of Famer. So, you know, obviously he had a very decorated career, but the hits he took were always, it's kind of like awkwardly taking the hits, or just, you know, and I think he got a little bit better as his career went on. But that's what we're looking for Dylan Raiola as well. It's just, you know, how you're taking the hits. It's weird, but there is an art to it. There is a little bit of an injury prevention type of a way to go about it.
Yeah, and the thing about Dylan is I don't want him to rush to be the top dog. Not I wouldn't say top dog, but somebody else has to take this leader role. You know, maybe an offensive lineman. He has to lead his offensive lineman. Dylan needs to worry about the back 6. I mean, the back 4 or 5 guys with him. You know, and because the offensive line always has a leader. And from what I'm hearing, that Rocco Spindler is really the voice out there right now. At what they really needed on the offensive line the last couple of years, because we haven't seen that from any guy. We haven't even seen that from Ben Scott last year when he transferred here for 2 years ago. They need a true leader, and I think Rocco Spindler, and if he can get Elijah Pritchett to chip in, and these 2 guys come in and be the voice on the offensive lineman, and that what gives the quarterback more confidence, because he got 2 guys up front that's willing to go to war with him anytime.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of flashy new pieces in and around Nebraska, but no doubt their line play is going to really determine how good this season is. And you know, that's one of the biggest concerns they have. Leadership's interesting because they've talked about, Dana Holgerson was talking about trying to get and teach and bring Dylan along as being that leader, because that could be a tough position to walk in as a freshman and to be not just the quarterback, but, you know, the leader of that offense. So that's kind of interesting. I think a lot of people would like to see Dylan Raiola take over that leadership role going into his sophomore year. But that's an interesting take from you to say, well, maybe not completely put that on his shoulders. Maybe have him work on some other stuff. I don't want to put words in your mouth, because you did mention kind of leading the other guys, but to have the co-leadership, you know, a big leader on that front line could really go a long way for him.
I mean, a lot of guys can speak. I mean, I wasn't a leader on the team. I even though I led the team in tackles, but you know, I listened to other guys, and I make my point sometimes too. Like, hey, let's get right. I mean, it doesn't. You a pat on the back doesn't do anything for a guy. You got to say it to his face sometimes and let him know, like, hey man, get yourself together and let's get it. I mean, this is how it is. I mean, me and Jay Foreman, we had that look. You know, when we looked at each other, hey, we know what we're doing. So I expect to see you in the backfield, or, you know, we've been waiting for this all week. We've been studying for this all week. So, you know, one voice is two, 3 voices is better than one.
Also, people might be wondering, what did Dylan Raiola do to lose that weight over spring break? He was asked that.
Yeah, I mean, I boxed every day, 6 a.m. in the winter, and then I would go right into a mile after we lifted, and then I'd come back later in the day and do 20 more minutes. So that was the winter. And then spring break, I just lifted in the morning, and then at night, I would get a cardio session, and then I would jump in the sauna. So I don't know, it's kind of like boxing training for some reason, but I feel great. I think they correlate great together. You know, the jump ropes and the foot strike and all those things. So, I mean, yeah, I'm cool talking about it. I'm happy where I'm at right now.
All right, as long as you're happy where you're at. I mean, you're doing the stuff that needs to be done. You're taking the little steps and not the big ones right now, but you know, continue to hit the weights and get your cardio and make this team better. That's the best thing I could tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly the opportunity of a lifetime here. The time is now. And you know, I mean, he's a very talented young man, but you know, you never want to look back on your career and think, man, I should have done this, or I wish I would have taken that more seriously. And it's been a topic, whether it's comfortable, whether we'd like it or not. It has been a topic, and Matt Rule was not happy with, you know, how maybe some of his words were misconstrued or misunderstood. But it you know, you just kind of put it frankly, it's something that's was noticeable toward the end of last year, and you just feel like, you know, if you can get into better shape, that could go a long way with kind of pocket escapability and maybe how he is taking some of these hits and altogether, you know, one way or the other, where it's helping in his game here and there, and it would help in several different places, but it's just kind of that you don't want the opportunity cost, right? Where if you just didn't take it as seriously, you depend too much on your arm and not the rest of your body to stay in good shape. Not to say that he wasn't in you know, good, you know, cardio shape and that sort of thing, but it's very important. It's been a topic, I maybe the topic, I think, at the start of the spring, and so I can't wait till we get to a day, and it sounds like he's putting that work in to where it's not a topic. It's not something we necessarily.
It's just an everyday job now.
Yeah.
All right. Bach, breaking news coming in right quick. Stanford edge rusher David Bailey has entered the transfer portal as a grad transfer. On3 has learned, viewed as one of the top returning pass rushers in the nation. He will be one of the most sought-out players in the spring portal. 6'3", 240. Edge posted 111 career tackles, 23 tackles for loss, 14.5 sacks in his career. He also forced 7 fumbles in his career. His decision to end the portal comes after Troy Taylor was fired from Stanford just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, not surprising to see a little bit of a fallout there. But yeah, I mean, you talk about the spring portal is obviously not going to be as loaded as some of the guys that we saw there at the end of the winter portal, if you will. And we saw at the end of the winter portal, the bidding wars to include Rocco Spindler that got going on there. So some of those top players in the spring portal, especially in edge rusher, we know how hard those are to come by, are probably going to get paid. I'm sure he's going to get paid a handsome sum wherever he lands. So.
All right. Take us out, Bob.
All right. You're listening to Buck in the Black Shirt here on The Captain. It's like a little bit of what they call it. ESPN on ABC back in the day.
Spin-off.
A little spin-off of The Captain. Oh, we're still on The Captain here. But we're having some fun. And he will be back, of course, next week. We'll continue to hear from Dylan Raiola and Dana Holgerson as we break this press conference down and continue to look forward to the next season of Husker football here as we are in spring football. Pretty good darn time of the year. We'll talk more about it next year on The Captain, on the Buck in the Black Shirt on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, four-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Whether it's neck pain, shoulder pain, or lower back pain, Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic's team specializes in treatments such as dry needling, cupping therapy, and traditional adjustments. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today, 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and 8th Street in Lincoln.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We're going to see plenty of sunshine for your Friday. It's going to be breezy too. Wind gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour. High risk of fire danger, so a red flag warning will be in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. High temperature of 86 degrees. The record today, 90. So I don't think we're going to set a record this afternoon. Could bring in some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder overnight. Better chance of rain on your Saturday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowden for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utility's direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Early break. Sort of interesting that we could all learn from. He doesn't look at himself just as a running back, he said. I look at myself as a weapon. You should follow suit. I'm not just a radio host. I'm a weapon.
Noted.
Noted. We're weapons.
Weapons.
Yes. Weapons of destruction.
With Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Buckle and Back Shirt here on 93.7 The Ticket, the fastest 2 hours in radio. We are powered
by
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Bauer.
Underground.
I say Brad
Excavating.
Shout out to Bauer and the boys out there working hard. That 34, the team will win if both lines play better in the moment, in my opinion. Oh, Bill, you trying to get me in trouble, ain't you? This show seems to run a little smoother when the captain is not there, but I miss his ability to get us all fired up.
He gets fired up there?
Sometimes he gets fired up. I don't. Yeah, he never was the fire up type guy to me. I let. If you're not better than Christian and Jason Peters, then I don't want to hear anybody. So,
well, that's got to be pretty tough. Those are some pretty guys. Those guys get fired up.
Yeah, I mean, plus you got to get your own self up to play. You know, it's like when you wake up, that on game day, you should be ready to play.
Yeah.
You know, stay off your feet if it's a night game, stay off your feet. 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock game, you know what you got to do. Eat early, get your system right, and get taped up and go play.
Did you ever have a game where you would say you were especially fired up or nerves kind of affected your play for the first couple of minutes?
Probably my first start.
Yeah.
But I ended up having 10 tackles, 2 sacks. So my first start was against Kansas State. So, but, I was nervous. Received my black shirt earlier in that week. Knew I was going to start, so it wasn't a secret anymore. But, I still had the jitters. I still had butterflies. I think I played a great game. If I'd have played that whole game, probably had 15 tackles or so. So, sometimes, we Coach McBride like to get the other guys in there just to get them playing time. I've never been mad because I've been taken out early. It's just let us know we did our job and get out of the game.
Well, I was just asking because whether it's nervous or excitement, from a locker room speech or whatever it might be, how long does that take before, okay, you're in it? Like one or two plays, and you're like, okay, now we're back kind of into the cycle. 1 or 2 possessions, or
oh no, you play hard the first couple of plays. You want to, because I always tell Jay at home make the first tackle.
You told him that going into the game.
Hey, somebody got to make the first tackle. It's gonna be me and you. So you go out there and you play like you use it. It's one thing we did. We practiced like we played. So we ran full speed at practice and we played full speed in the game. So we never took plays off. So it's not like our coaches had the ability to make us run it over several times. But, we came out as a group and you learn this thing called run to the ball the first week of practice. Coaches want to see all 11 men running to the ball, full speed. So if you get caught loafing or something like that, then he takes you out. But the name of the game is everybody run full speed to the ball as a team.
Yeah, interesting stuff. We can jump back into some of what Dylan Morello was saying here from the press conference the other day. Let's talk about him and some of his teammates. First, a quote on, a soundbite on what him and Emmett Johnson have kind of been up to this offseason. Have they been seen spending a lot of time together?
Yeah, Emmett's fun. He's a great dude. Tremendous athlete on the field. But I think we both love sports in general. Him growing up playing basketball, I used to go basketball games when I was, younger. So I don't know. We were just one day kind of just rolled out there and was like, this is fun. You want to go to more games, and it kind of turned into something that we didn't really expect. But it was grateful opportunity. We love our community and all the support that we get. So it was just a way of us to give back.
There you have it. You might have seen him at quite a few different events, him and Emmett Johnson. So maybe it was just a bonding over their love of basketball. How about that?
Well, they're roommates. And their quarterback and running back. What more combo could you ask for? This guy has to have your back just like the center does, just like the left tackle does, just like the guard does. So, if that guy sees somebody coming in to make the kill hit, he has to take that later wood for you. So they have to have that type of relationship, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking with Adam earlier too, because for years Nebraska fans have been clamoring for, kind of a workhorse back or kind of a number one back, and you haven't really had one. Just and part of that is just because you can't force it. If you don't have a guy that's kind of all Big Ten would be fighting in for those honors, then maybe getting a fresh guy or guys that have different skill sets out that running back by committee, as we've been seeing over the last several years. Now you're kind of in a position where maybe it's kind of aligning pretty well for Emmett, where he's obviously going to be the best in his career, and I think could compete for all Big Ten type of player if utilized correctly. And the fact they just don't have as much proven depth there. Now, they've been very confident to talk about the running backs that are behind him, but do you see Emmett Johnson, and for whatever reason, it could be, the lack of depth that you see or him getting up there, do you see him as a number one back that's going to get a lion's share of the carries here?
Well, who else we got? I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's in a position to be that guy. My question is to you, over or under? He's a junior this year, right?
Is he? I thought he was. I don't know. I'll double check.
But my question is, over or under, will he have the 900 yards that Anthony Grant had his junior year?
Mm-hmm.
Is he that type of back? Can he rush for 900, Bob? Can he stay healthy enough? I mean, is the line going to be able to hold up enough for him to get 900 yards? Anthony Grant been the last back I seen that really was a workhorse for us at running back.
Well, and last year for Emmett Johnson, he had 117 carries for 598 yards. You're right. He'll be going into his junior year. But also the versatility that he brought and will bring next year. So it's not, if you're just talking about 900 rushing yards, that might be one thing. But in total, you look at last year, he was pretty close to 900 if you bring in receiving yards as well. So, and obviously he didn't get a majority of the carries.
I'm not going to let you do that, Bob. Anthony Grant. See his junior year. Anthony Grant. Let me see.
Go look at Anthony Grant's junior. See how many receiving yards he had?
Yeah.
Well, because the one thing is about Emmett Johnson is he only had one rushing touchdown last season. Now, it's several times where he brought it down to the, the inside of the red zone or down to the 5 or 2 yard line or whatever, and he'd be replaced by the bigger backs. But so that'll be interesting. I think that, again, with his all-purpose ability, in the fact that he's the only proven back there. I do think whether you're talking about rushing and receiving or just rushing, that he could get to close to 900.
Anthony Grant's not really a catcher. He had 913 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. Then he had 13 catches for 104 yards.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll see. And I'm intrigued too, just to see, on that side of it. Of course, we're all talking about the running back side. You'd rather have your running back, run for 1,000 yards. That's been a goal here for a long time. Hasn't been done since Divine Zigbo and all that. But I mean, 300 receiving yards out of the backfield is no joke. And if he gets kind of the full-time starting role and plays a lot more of those snaps, you get close to 500 yards receiving. That's just that's a huge weapon out of the backfield again, and something that was maybe underrated for Cam Scadaboo this past year. Everybody knows his kind of hard-nosed running style, and it was tough to bring down and all that, but he was a big-time threat out of the backfield, which helped, obviously, him and get up to individual awards, but Arizona State in their offense to be where they were to get to the playoffs, win the Big 12 and all that. So that's going to be very huge this year. We'll see what Emmett Johnson has in store. Another guy that Raiola talked about that he does need to develop some chemistry with certainly is Dane Key. Here is Raiola talking about that chemistry that him and Dane Key have, and if it's translating to the field.
Absolutely, I think so. We're only 3 days in right now, but we worked together all winter. Spring break, he came down to Atlanta and we met him. I met him at Buford. So we've been together as much as we can, been on the phone. He's been over the house. So Dane's a great guy. I think it's hard for people not to like him, especially the way he works and how much he's in here. Sometimes I'll walk in here and he'll still be in here. I think the guys gravitate to that, and they see that from a veteran guy, and it kind of pushes the room.
So there's Raiola on Dane Key. Here's another quick clip about him talking more about his new wide receivers.
It's like a car guy that loves cars. It's like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all those kind of cars. So it's a blessing, honestly, to look out there, look right, look left, and you have multiple options to choose from, and guys rolling in as well. So it's been a lot of fun. They've worked really hard in the winter. We got together a bunch 3 times a week, and yeah, it's been fun. I think the best thing about it is getting to know them off the field, having breakfast together, and just spending time, watching basketball games, going to play cards and doing those kind of things was our goal, to build a rapport off the field.
So there you have it. Dylan Raiola talking about his wide receivers, the chemistry he's built with Dane Key and the others. I'm sure you've heard it. We've talked about it already. But comparing his new receivers to some of those high-end sports cars, certainly not going to belittle the expectation Nebraska fans have of those wide receivers. But, we've talked about the offensive line, what they need to do to help Emmett Johnson, of course, as well. But that wide receiver unit, it's interesting because there's a lot of expectation, of course, for Barney to step up. You hope for him to kind of take his game to the next level. Everybody wants to see Hardly Gilmore, what he was able to do as obviously last year at Kentucky. They have a lot of expectation, but Dane Key and Isaiah Hunter are very, very proven from what they've been able to do. Of course, Dane Key over multiple seasons, Isaiah Hunter just last year at Cal, but both of them being one of the best receivers, if not the best receivers on their team last season. Let's just say with this wide receiver core, not everybody's going to get the ball every time, but I think we're going to see each one of them have special moments in this season, hopefully, along with Dylan Raiola. And part of it's going to be interesting to see if he does kind of spread the ball out, or if he zones in on a target or two that are going to be, getting a big majority of the receptions as well this year.
Yeah. My question is, who's the fast one? Who's the blazing guy, and who's Banks and who's Nair? Is Dane Key Banks and Isaiah Hunter is Nair? Because Nair showed me that he's a 4-3, he's a 4-4-0 guy.
Yeah.
And did we use him wrong, or did we utilize him right? I mean, I know he loafed on some plays, but
dropped the ball,
dropped balls a couple of times. But at the same time, I don't think one of these guys has the speed like Banks. I mean, like Nair. We'll have to see.
Well, we'll see, and hopefully, what does come with them is like what did they lose? What was Banks and Nair not able to do effectively enough?
Yeah.
Perimeter blocking and getting off one-on-one coverage, and not just zoning in on those guys, but that was the wide receiver unit as a whole.
With a 23-year-old coach, Bob.
Yeah, well, and coaching might have been part of that as well. But the wide receiver unit is going to be, there's going to be expectations more than just the receiving numbers of what they put up, and being able to get open, because that's a big talk about Dylan Raiola too, is how much of the second half struggles was on Dylan compared to coordinator changes and just kind of putting your quarterback in maybe not the best play. Obviously, you were step up in competition factored into it last year, but people would say too, there were the drop balls. Yeah, there were the plays where they weren't open, but there were also some of the plays where they were open and they didn't get the ball. So, it's always, football is a team sport. Every player's, it's going to be hard to run a flawless play. There's going to be a mistake made on the field, just about every play, but you hope it's not in the action of the play, nothing that's going to affect the play. And obviously, in passing downs, if it's a missing wide receiver open downfield or nobody getting open, it's very easy to see and hard to miss, I suppose, on the tape. So it'll be interesting to see how both of those sides, both quarterback and wide receiver, can improve to help that passing offense, again, with the understanding that the offensive line is going to be a major factor in all that, as long to see how much time he'll have to sit back and drop. I mean, is this going to be an offense where you can sit back and drop and buy time and all that sort of stuff? Or is this going to be more of a quick pass offense because you don't have maybe we'll see. And I'm not saying they don't, I'm saying that the possibility would be that if you didn't have the tackles to hold up against some of the better edge rushers or pass specialists in the Big Ten, you might have to get the ball out of the pocket quickly.
Yeah. We'll have to see how it goes, Bob.
Yeah. certainly going to be a fun, entertaining offense this year, and hopefully that leads to more points on the scoreboard, more effectiveness in the 2-minute drill, as we've talked about today, and more wins, obviously, in the win-loss column by the end of the season. Hey, this is the captain here on 93.7 The Ticket, but it is Buck in the black shirt in with you here on a Friday. We got one more segment, and we'll bring that to you when we come back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Whether it's neck pain, shoulder pain, or lower back pain, Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic's team specializes in treatments such as dry needling, cupping therapy, and traditional adjustments. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today, 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and 8th Street in Lincoln.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more.
Get ready for spring by joining an evidence-based program to improve your health and well-being. These programs use proven strategies to help you make lasting changes, whether it's boosting nutrition, increasing activity, managing stress, or enhancing wellness. Invest in yourself today and feel your best this spring and beyond. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We're going to see plenty of sunshine for your Friday. It's going to be breezy, too. Wind gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour. High risk of fire danger, so a red flag warning will be in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. High temperature of 86 degrees. The record today, 90. So I don't think we're going to set a record this afternoon. Could bring in some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder overnight. Better chance of rain on your Saturday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Downer for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Hog Wild's giant stuffed baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Elias wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utilities direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Back with Vershawn Jackson, powered by Bauer, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bach in the Black Shirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We thank you for listening to us today and Wednesday and whatever day we're on. Bach,
That's right.
what you got going on tonight, Bach, this weekend?
Oh, it's like we were talking about as we opened the show. I'm really excited, of course, for the Sweet 16, Elite 8. By the end of the weekend, of course, we'll know the Final Four setup for next week. I think I might take advantage of the weather and maybe make a zoo trip for my son.
All right.
But yeah, we'll see. I haven't.
All right, come check me and Ricky Simmons out. We'll be in Grand Island at the Comic Con down in Grand Island from 2 to 4 tomorrow, and looking forward to that. Have to get up, drive up there probably around 12 o'clock. I don't know how long that trip is.
You guys carpooling, or have you looked into it too much yet?
No, I haven't looked into it too much yet.
It's Comic-Con now. Is there also going to be, you know what else is going to be there?
What?
I was just wondering.
Comic books, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that usually like superheroes and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, Batman.
That could
Probably
be
have
pretty
Batman
cool.
there. Yeah. I don't know.
That'd be fun.
We'll have to see how it goes.
Are you too into superheroes? Did you ever get into the Marvel movies or anything?
No, I watch them.
Yeah.
I watch Hellboy, and I like Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
I used to like Smallville. Was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Smallville with Clark Kent. I'm a Batman. I like Batman movies. I like all movies. Something that catches my interest. I forgot the dude what I was watching today. He had a weird name, but I think he played in the werewolf movies. I forgot the name of it, but I was watching. It was a Netflix movie, but wasn't watching too much. I was watching a robot movie earlier today. So
have you moved off Tubi for a while? Wasn't it Tubi?
No, I still watch Tubi.
Still big Tubi.
Yeah, I watched the movie. I watched the movie with Bootsy in it the other day.
Okay,
it was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, if you want to go to sleep, you watch a Tubi movie because the acting is terrible, the content is terrible, the vision is terrible.
Yeah.
It's just like watching it's
like a
terrible.
stage production.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. It's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Tubi is, but it's free.
Yeah.
But I have cable. I mean, I also have cable. I watch it. I got cable. I watch YouTube. I watch Tubi. I watch Netflix. I watch a lot of stuff. Whatever piques my mind, like whatever catches my interest at the moment.
Yeah.
Like if things not going well in the game, I just turn it off and turn the TV off.
Turn something on. I was gonna say if you get bored, look for I'm in a movie on Tubi, just the very end of one movie. But
what's the name of it?
It's called the Amityville Toy Box.
That's a scary movie.
Yeah,
isn't it?
play off of the Amityville series altogether.
What did you do this at?
Here in Lincoln, I actually knew a guy that was a director and knew how to kind of get that, I guess, that sort of viewership on it. And so yeah, I've got an IMDb page and everything because I helped produce it or whatever. Help produce means
Did you get paid for it, Bob?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
I helped produce it, which means I threw him a few bucks so that I could be in the movie.
Now he should be. Now he got royalties now going on. Now you should be able to
Tubi
get some
royalties.
Yeah, Tubi.
Yeah.
Probably like $250. Who knows? I don't know. Tubi is terrible.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Our movie probably is on Tubi and probably belongs on Tubi.
Well,
But
Dana Hoganson, the offensive line, he talks about he walks to work.
Dana does, yeah.
Yeah. So he's in that category with Ron Brown.
And he also said that he put on, some of the toughest work that he's had as a coach has been here at Nebraska. As far as like the hardest working. Does that surprise you at all, considering he's been a head coach and everything that's on the plate of a head coach? I mean, not only has he been a head coach, it's over a decade, 13 years of being a Division I coach, and he says, this is as hard as he's worked.
Well, that's one thing that Matt Rule has to get used to, that this guy is used to running his own team.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably wants total control of the offense, and I don't think Matt Rule's going to even try to stop him at what he does offensively wise. But, Matt Rule, if Matt Rule sees something he doesn't like, he can always give his input. But I think it's Dana Hogan. I think it's his offense to lose.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And I think sometimes we kind of forget that, just how unfamiliar or new the nuance of replacing your offensive coordinator mid-season with an outside hire of a head coach that was a head coach at the Division I level for 13 seasons. Just had never seen it before. And so it's all kind of this kind of interesting new college football type of opportunity to see how it turns out. And so they're testing the waters within, and I'm not saying it's would end up poorly in any fashion, because I think it's a great hire and it's going to set out to work out in Nebraska's favor, but it's just different. We talked about that with Dion. It's college football. There's different type of approaches that people are taking with the new rules, and I should say current rules of college football.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Bada Bing out of this. Look on the YouTube, but he's crazy. Bada Bing, I can't read that one right there, brother. You try to get me in trouble. All right, we thank you for listening to Bach and the Black Shirt here on 93.7 The Ticket, FM.com. We will see you Monday, and the captain will be back, and we'll be back to the captain show with the Black Shirt and Bach here at 1040 O Street. We'll see you later.
Hog Wild's giant stuffed baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Have you been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn? At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an advocate you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you need. Advocates you deserve. That's 877-42-LIBERTY or libertylawnebraska.com.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utilities direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com.